Hello, welcome back to Let's Talk Title with Emerald Coast Title Services. I'm host and president of ECTS, Dion Moniz.
And I'm Ashley Bowen, Director of Operations at Emerald Coast Title.
All right, so episode 23. Today we're going to talk about low appraisals and Tidewater issues with VA loans. Now, first of all, Ashley, what the heck is Tidewater?
So Tidewater is when you have a low VA appraisal, they issue a Tidewater notice. The lender issues the Tidewater notice saying, "Oops, this appraisal is low," and so they let the parties know, and then you have 2 days, the realtor has 2 days to get supplemental information to the appraiser so that they can look at it and maybe adjust their appraisal.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So now that we know what Tidewater is, let's kind of walk through the process of an appraisal for a VA loan, and then we'll talk about what happens if it comes in low and creates a Tidewater notice. So is there anything a realtor can do to help the appraiser beforehand?
There are things. So in May of this year, ECAR hosted a VA panel on this exact topic, on low appraisals and Tidewater. We had 3 VA lenders and 3 appraisers, which was incredible. It's hard to get appraisers.
Yeah, they're so busy right now.
We got 3 of them. It was awesome. I was on that panel, and we love education, and so I just took all the notes, and I wanted to share it with you guys here at the podcast. So the appraisers did say they love it when the listing agents or selling agents, you guys have to work together here. Like, we all want this house to appraise. We all want sellers to get their money, buyers to get their house, close the deal. So work together. The appraisers like it if you have like a list of things. The roof is 5 years old. It's still under warranty. The hot water heater was replaced in this day. You can give your own comps, like what were the comps the listing agent used when coming up with this list price. Mm-hmm. If you have those things printed, make a packet and leave it on the kitchen counter for the appraiser. When they walk in and they have all of that information, it's just going to make their job so much easier. So that was something that the appraisers told us. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is.
And so if they've done recent improvements to the house or remodel,
yep, you want to
itemize that and tell how much you spent on it, I guess?
Or we got new cabinets, or because sometimes you may have a listing where it says fully remodeled, and then you walk in and it's like, well, they painted. They didn't, there's no new floors, there's no, and maybe things that you can't see, like the hot water heater. So if things like that you can't see to the naked eye are done, or if you have new floors, even if you can see it, make a list, itemize it out. Put the prices, if you have it, of what was spent on it. That's just going to help your case. And again, everybody's goal here should be getting to the closing table.
Yeah, absolutely. Which means it needs to appraise properly.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's all work together. Let's get them everything that we can. Do appraisers want the listing agent and the seller there? No. I mean, leave their packet of information that they can go through, but you being there,
and then leave them alone.
Yeah, it's not going to help anything.
Yeah.
Leave them alone, but do give them a packet. Help them out there with that.
Okay, so the appraisal happens. Obviously, if it appraises for the contract price, good to go. But what happens if it appraises below the contract price?
The appraiser is going to reach out to the lender first and say, look, the appraisal is coming in low. And at that point, the appraiser can't reach out to the agents directly, the lender. So the lender is going to have to reach out to the agents and say, hey, we've got a Tidewater issue. And then you have 2 days, the realtors have 2 days to get supplemental information to the lender, who will get it to the appraisal to back up your list price, your contract price. Why do you think this appraises at what it lists at? When you get the appraisal, you'll see what comps they used. If you don't agree with those comps, that's what this is for. You need to basically do your own grid, which is what the appraiser does. When you see the comparables, you've got your property and then the 3 comparables. You need to do the same thing, and in a grid is the best way to do it. Lenders should be able to give you a form if you don't have one already to use, but it'll say the address, the sold price, square foot, how many bedrooms, all of that stuff. And so you can get your supplemental information. If that's not enough, the whole Tidewater thing is really for the veteran to fight the value of the appraisal. So there needs to be a letter from the veteran saying that they believe that this price is a good price and these are why. That should be submitted with this grid with your supplemental information to the lender, to the appraiser, so that they can look at it. The VA is going to look at it much more closely and care more if their veteran is the one who's requesting this.
Gotcha. And so that goes through the lender? So the veteran sends everything to the lender?
The realtors and the veteran, everybody needs to send everything to the lender, who will then get it to the appraiser.
Gotcha. So within that, I'll call it an appeal package, you're allowed to say, this comp is invalid because of XYZ reasons. This comp should have been used because of XYZ reasons. And that's all going to be laid out in the grid that you talked about.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's the VA then, that's the decision maker on the appeal as to whether the appraisal should be revised or not?
The appraiser is the one who makes that decision.
Okay.
They're the ones who decide if they agree with these new comps and that they can adjust their appraisal.
And so the appraiser goes, nope, I'm sticking with my initial number. Is there...
Then you've got a low appraisal. There's only one chance to go through Tidewater. At that point, you're going to have to see if the parties will negotiate their sales price, or we're going to cancel the contract. But because this is a VA loan and you used your VA writer like a good boy and girl.
Right. Because you know your contract.
Yes.
Prior episode.
You know that VA writer is going to override what's written in the contract about the appraisal deadline. So even if you've passed your loan approval period and we have a bad appraisal, your veteran is not going to forfeit their EMD. They're still going to be able to get it back.
Yeah.
But you need to be savvy when you make that argument with the seller. Hopefully your title company has an attorney who's also savvy who can help you with that argument.
We have attorneys.
And we're savvy.
That's right.
So always important to have attorneys on your side that have your back.
Yeah, so that is one of the big benefits for a VA loan, is that it's set up to be very favorable for the veteran, and that if the appraisal comes in under, regardless of when that appraisal comes in, per that VA rider, the veteran can, or the buyer can back out and get the EMD back. Whereas under a traditional loan, once you're outside the loan approval period,
You're done.
you're done.
But also, I have heard sellers or listing agents tell us that sellers are afraid of VA buyers.
Right, yeah.
But there are statistics out there that most veterans have higher credit scores because the military is telling them that they have to. Like, you can't be in default on things.
Right.
So most veterans have good credit scores. VA appraisals have to be done within a certain time frame where conventionals do not. Actually, a VA buyer it's a good buyer to have, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a higher percentage of VA loans that close as compared to conventionals.
Now that's a good statistic to know, because a lot of sellers are scared of the VA loan because of that extra window for the buyer to back out if it doesn't appraise, but you just...
Or the VA appraisal, like repairs that have to be done. It has to be in a certain condition. But I mean, even a conventional buyer, they're going to have repair requests. I just don't think that a VA loan is something that should scare sellers. I think that it's actually a really good product.
So your field data just proved that more VA loans close because the veteran has better credit, so a higher percentage get approved for the loan in the end than traditional. So there you go. Love your VA loans and your veterans, of course.
And in our area, we have to love our veterans.
Yes,
we're
exactly.
surrounded by them.
That's right. No, yeah, we rely on them very much. As a matter of fact, we actually give a discount on our closing.
20% off.
20% off our closing fee if you're current or, if you're a veteran.
At all.
So active duty or retired, you're good to go.
I think we gave we had a VA refinance for an 85-year-old man, and he got his discount.
Yep. So be sure to ask us about that if you close with us, which we hope you will.
And
All right.
if I see that it's a VA loan, like if I see that rider's on there, you don't have to ask me. I'm going to go ahead and mark it.
Right.
And then another thing that I learned during that panel was about comps that agents add to MLS for sales that they add to MLS for comp purposes. Like if it wasn't listed, if it was a for sale by owner or whatever, but then a realtor was involved, and in the end they go in and just basic sales price. That's not going to help an appraiser at all. If there are no pictures in the MLS or there's no information, the appraiser can't use that. So if you are going to do that, for comp purposes only, to help yourself and your colleagues later on, fill out as much information in those notes as you can. Put in pictures. If there were, and also for most any closing, after it closes, notes like, "Thanks, Bob, that was a great closing," that's not going to help anybody. But notes like, "Seller had to put a new roof on before closing and spent $20,000 on it," that's a good one. Or we lowered the price $10,000 in lieu of repairs, or like notes like that will help appraisers in the future, I think are really important. It's going to take you maybe 15 minutes, but you're helping out your colleagues. And if everybody does it and works together, it's going to make everybody's lives and jobs easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to put the link for the panel video on this episode. And so if you want to view the full video, which has a lot more useful information than we touched on today.
Great. We had 3 VA lenders, 3 VA appraisers, 2 realtors who handle VA loans all the time. I was super impressed with Z White with ERA Realty, and then Joe Capilati, who is our current vice president of the board of directors and will be chair next year, was on the panel, as well as me. I didn't. All I did was take notes. But it's a good one, so watch that.
Yeah. So hopefully you're a little more up to speed now on VA loans and what happens when the appraisal is low and you get into a Tidewater situation. Now you know what Tidewater is.
And work together with your fellow realtors, listing agents. Help the lender out, help the appraiser out, because in the end, our goal is the same, and that is, let's get these people to the closing table.
That's right, because we love closings. All right, well, that's
#ECTS.
That's right. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today's episode. So we hope you'll join us next time. And as always, feel free to check us out on social media, ECTS.com, Facebook, all those good things.
Like button.
Smash that like button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.